My cousin never wanted me to repeat this, as she was afraid that people wouldn't believe her and think that she belonged in an asylum or something. Dramatic? You be the judge. It was the 29th of October, but it was our Halloween night. My family, uncle and cousins were visiting from Michigan, so we decided to have our Halloween celebration on this day before they headed home. Nothing too crazy, just some games, costumes and candy. It was just after midnight when everything was dying down for the night. I'd just gotten into my room, about to get settled, when my cousin came in. She wanted to sneak out into the cemetery, which was only about a half a mile down the street. I can't remember the exact reasoning, but we were 13 and just wanted to be adventurous, I guess. Anyway, we headed down my street. It was pitch black and quiet. A perfect night to set a Halloweeny atmosphere. My favourite time of year. We got to the gates of the cemetery and we were surprised to see that it was open slightly. We didn't think much of it, so we headed in. Knowing what I know now, I would have just turned around and sprinted home. But we went in and found a clearing. It was situated between a couple of crypts and a row of headstones. Plenty of space to sit on the grass, so we did just that. We brought flashlights in typical ghost story fashion to hold up to our chins so that we could freak each other out with terrifying tales. We ended up rolling about laughing, a mixture of fright and giddiness. After about an hour, we decided that it was time to go. Suddenly, completely out of nowhere, we heard a noise coming from the bushes to our right. We were about 400 yards from the exit, and this particular area was extremely dense and filled with bushes. Our head shot to the right, and I saw a figure of a man. He seemed to be about 6'5" or 6, a huge hulking figure. We screamed. He lunged. I fell back in fright and dropped my flashlight. My cousin dropped hers and I heard her scream, and I heard a scuffle. As I grabbed my flashlight, it took me what felt like 10 minutes to gather the nerve to shine it in the direction of where my cousin seemed to be. I know that sounds crazy. I did want to help, but I was terrified. Eventually I shone the light. My cousin was lying in a ball, her face terrified, her body shaking. The man was nowhere to be found. I got her to my feet, my heart pounding. We exited quickly. When we got home, my uncle and my mom screamed at us for sneaking out. They called the police. There were cuts and bruises on my cousin's face and neck and arms, so an ambulance was also called. Turns out, my cousin couldn't remember anything. For a while it seemed like she was just deflecting, but she seemed to be so in shock that she simply blocked it out. To this day, we're both 23 years old now, she still doesn't remember what happened. She says she has nightmares about a face, a man's face. Part of me thinks it is to do with that night. I'm so glad I didn't see his face if that's the case. And I'm so glad that we're okay. The most traumatic thing to ever happen to me.